Hi, this is Jeff with Beal Properties here today with a short video on using service issues in your owner portal to help track performance of the properties that we manage for you. We think this is an underused feature, so we wanted to draw some attention to it today with this how-to. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen here and log in. Always go to gobeal.com to log into your owner portal. It's usually a very quick process. Click the owner login button here. If you have issues with that, you can open up an anonymous or incognito browser, and that usually corrects any issues. And once you're logged in, you should be at your dashboard. And you can see here, when you log in, you'll have these tiles that give you some handy information. Right there on the bottom right is service issues, and there's a couple ways you can scroll through these. One is, as you see, just scrolling up and down with your mouse. You can also click this stack of papers icon to bring up a list, or you can click service issues from the menu bar here in the middle. We're going to go back to the dashboard again. So something that you can do each and every day is take a couple minutes that it just took us to log in here and look at your service issues tile. You'll see the most recent one issued at the top. And you can log into this and check these to keep on top of what's going on, with the property that we manage. And these are the most common types of issues that you'll see. So, for instance, this one is no hot water entered by the tenant. And this is an example of a service issue where there needed to be a lot of back and forth between the property manager assigned to this and our maintenance staff, and also any outside companies that we're working with to get this problem resolved. So you'll see here detailed notes explaining what's going on and what the resolution was. Now, a different type of service issue that you might see would be, well, this one you would actually get a phone call or email from me. Occasionally when we're turning a unit between tenants, we'll need to get the power turned on in your name for those few days, and then it'll get put in the new tenant's name. So you might get an email from me saying, please turn on the gas and electric to this unit or something to that effect. And that would show up in here like that. That's pretty straightforward. Another common one would be a tenant contacting their property manager that's assigned to their property through the service issues, asking for a few basic maintenance items. And in this case, they're telling us that one of their windows is drafty. They're telling us that the toilet seat won't stay up. They're telling us that the fridge door opens the wrong way, and they're asking to have these things fixed. And in this case, we assigned it to one of our in-house maintenance techs. He went in and completed the work and updated the service issue right here. Very straightforward. That's very common. Something like this, we're not going to proactively reach out to you and say, hey, the tenant, asked us to do this small, totally routine maintenance issue. As you remember from your property management contract that you signed with us, anything over $999, unless it affects, health and safety, we're going to come to you with a quote for your review and approval. Things that are routine, like this being an example, we're going to go ahead and take care of that. And then you'll see any charges related to this, such as for labor or these parts, on your owner statement the following month. So let's take a look at the next one on here. This is a water leak. It's, this is fairly common service issue to get if someone's having some kind of issue with their plumbing, and here they're telling us that the toilet flushes weird, and it seems like water is leaking from the bottom of the toilet when they flush. So in this case, what we do is we assign it to contractors, the company named Plumbers, and they go out there, they fill in, exactly what they did. They replaced the arm in the tank, they sealed the base on the toilet, they checked the flooring and the subflooring, noted that it wasn't damaged because this was caught in time. And then we had checked with the tenant, and they told us that the repair worked and everything's looking good now. So that's what we want to see here. Another example is going to be one where the tenant is telling us that they don't have any heat. And, in the winter here in Michigan, that can be a pretty serious issue. So on this one, the assigned property manager assigned this to Air Temperature Control, a company we work with a lot. They went out there, they told us that the circuit board is blown and the blower's not working. They say it cannot be repaired. They gave us a quote. It's expensive. And in this case, you can see that I sent the quote to the owner for review and approval. The owner approved the quote. We hired Air Temperature Control. They told us the job was complete. We checked in with the tenant, and the tenant says everything's working great. So that's good documentation and pretty straightforward as far as you seeing the process that has to happen here on our end. And I'll just use this one as an example to point out, there's several points of communication that have to happen here. So if you see a service issue that says the heat's out, there's no need to, ask me 2-3 times a day what the status is. You can just, log into the portal, check the service issue, and you'll see the notes updated as quickly as I see them. And that's the beauty of the portal that we set up is, the number one reason that clients tell us that they didn't like their previous property manager is because they say they weren't able to get information quick enough, or, it was difficult to get the information they're looking for. So we built a system here where you have all the information all the time, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You just need to get familiar with the portal so you can log in and, find out for yourself. And we have had some clients who were a little embarrassed when they were continually asking for updates. And when they realized that they get the update as soon as I get it, and now they use it every day. So, and I think there's one more in here we want to take a look at. You might see a service issue from a tenant where really they're asking something that's not really a service issue. So in this case, it would be a new tenant. They're new to our system. They're trying to figure out how to pay their rent. So in this case, you can see that the property manager saw that. They called the tenant. They showed them how to pay their rent, explained to them that this wasn't really a service issue. And this is a good one to use as an example for also, sometimes you'll see, say, 4 or 5 or 6 service issues entered in a short span of time about the same thing. And I'll get an email saying, geez, it sounds like a disaster over there. What's going on? So many service issues related to the heat or the water. And when you click into it, what you'll see is the tenant has entered a service issue, and we're going through this normal process of, getting it addressed. But, if it's hot water or if it's heat or something like that, that can be frustrating for a tenant. And out of frustration, sometimes they will just keep entering the same service issue as a way to remind us. And we do, train the tenants that slows things down. But if you happen to see something like that, just look in the notes and you'll see if they're duplicate. You can kind of tell that that's what's going on. So with that, we do want to invite you to make this a normal part of your practice in checking on your properties and, tracking performance. If you are looking at an owner statement, at the beginning of the month, and you're reviewing the performance and the income and expenses for the previous month, and you see a small labor charge or a small maintenance material charge, and you think to yourself, gee, I wonder what that is. Why didn't Jeff, tell me about that? Well, the answer would be because it was routine. It was under $999, and we don't proactively, send you information about normal day-to-day stuff like that. It's just on you to, get into your owner portal and look. And so you could see in that case, oh, hey, I got charged $87 for a toilet part. And then you can see that there was a service issue entered, which says in the notes, had to replace a flush arm. And then you would have answered your own question. So again, we put a lot of effort into building the system so that you have all the information you need at all times to track performance. We do know that just like with the tenant getting frustrated because they want answers quicker, sometimes clients want answers, immediately, and they don't understand why we can't get them information instantaneously. But really, all the information that's available to us is available to you instantaneously through your portal. So please spend a little bit of time looking at the other videos here on our client YouTube channel that go into a lot of different topics about different ways to use your owner portal and the reports in there to track performance of your properties. We thank you for being a client of ours. We enjoy working for all of you. And if you have any questions, you can email me at jeff.muir@gobeal.com. Thanks, and have a great day.